Boom! What is up, everybody? Now, thought I'm just gonna make a little bit of a chatty video with you guys. You would have clicked on the video and you want to know whether or not the bear market has started. I'm getting a lot of comments now where people are coming into the videos, maybe they're coming onto my X post as well, and they're saying to me it feels like a bear market is starting. And I want to say to all of you guys, it was impossible to convince anybody that we were in a bear market this time last month. No matter what dump we had, everybody was convinced that we were going to go higher. Now we're going to look into some charts, as we always do at the end of the video, but I'm going to show you some other stuff as well that all of you guys need to pay attention to, you need to focus on, because I think this was the necessary sentiment reset that we needed before we could see any extreme movements. Now I'm a little bit concerned what's going to happen the end of the week. We've obviously got the digital assets conference in the White House. We're going to have to see how this goes, guys. It could be a nothing burger. It could be great for the price of crypto. But just because we're having this conference doesn't mean that it's going to impact the market positively, guys. Okay, so we got to bear that in mind. But right now, I mean, ETH breached 2K earlier today, guys, and it was like max fear. Okay, we were at like 82K for Bitcoin earlier today. So it's serious volatility right now. And I do think the market makers are trying to play with the retail's emotions and really wash out the retail before we can have any extended move to the upside. Now, I don't know who saw today's news on this guy. All of you watching the video right now, you're going to know about this guy. On Hyperliquid, he 50x leveraged a position that was like 200 million. He then closed it after the Trump pump. In the Trump dump, he actually shorted it right before the Trump dump. He actually pulled out he pulled out quite a lot of profit from his short now. But what's happened, guys, is he's actually changed his name. I saw this today, and the guy who longed the 200 million crypto position has now changed his name to March 7th. And I couldn't believe this when I saw it. I was like, has he really? And when you open it up here, guys, he actually has. He's changed his name to March 7th. What's happening on March 7th? It is going to be the Digital Assets Conference. Now, I'm at a point right now where I don't really trust anything that happens, right? Trump was meant to be here to help crypto, bring regulations to crypto for all of us to adopt it and it to be legal and us to not feel like we're doing illegal shit or people say crypto's shady. But it seems that it hasn't gone that way so far. So again, I'm not putting too much weight into this Digital Assets Conference, and I know a lot of people will, but again, we need to see what happens when it happens. We can't just go into it blind saying this is definitely bullish before it happens. But interesting that he's changed his name. See, I feel like we're getting played with, guys. But I mean, you can look into these charts, take it with a pinch of salt. We are now back in Bitcoin season, obviously, because altcoins are bleeding. A lot of them are at super lows right now. All the gains got erased. But historically, if you do think that altcoin season is going to commence and we're going to get a turnover in events, then this is the time where the money is made down here. It's not easy. It is never easy to, number one, buy in a bear market. Number two, buy in these bull market corrections. Yes, it is different to all other times, guys, because it feels like altcoins have just gone down. Even ETH, right? There was a picture of ETH March last year to March this year, and we're 1K lower than what we were last year, guys. But the market makers play with the emotions. They convince us that we are going into a bear market or that we're never going to get the moves that we are waiting for. Then they pump it into the sky and people play the catch-up game, okay? So many people come up to me in the gym, in wherever, coffee shop, whatever, and they say to me, they're like, hey Lex, I actually bought this coin now, I bought this coin. And so many people are now trying to convince me that it's now a good time to buy XRP. Someone in the gym said to me that it's actually early in the cycle for buying XRP. And I said to him, it's not, right? It's not. For a lot of our altcoins, it's not early. Okay, I bought XRP, and many of you guys would have bought XRP at around 40 cents, 50 cents. Anybody who was XRP army who's been holding, right, up still nearly 10x. Okay, it's not early, but people will come in later in the cycle and try and convince each other that it's early. like fill each other with hopium. And again, number one, I want all of you guys, if you're still here, please subscribe to the channel, because I'm going to be here every day for you guys. Like, please subscribe. I'm trying to do my best to bring you good content every single day, keep you guys chilling. It would really help me if you did subscribe to the channel. But also, if you want to go and follow the Twitter, I'm going to be doing polls to just check the sentiment. Okay, are you ready to sell your crypto? Now, I do think that when it comes to these things, a lot of people probably are more on the side of, yeah, I'm over it. They don't want to admit it. A lot of you guys are going to say you're not selling anytime soon, and I do believe a lot of you guys on the channel, at least, probably are going to be with me and you're not selling anytime soon. But let me know how you're feeling in the comments right now. Are you over it? If there's not a pump in the next like month or so, are you going to be over it, or are you just still holding on diamond hands? One thing that I have been looking at has been the open interest. And what the open interest is, for all of you guys who may not understand, is the amount of people that have open leverage positions, whether that is long or short. Usually the higher open interest, the more likely there's going to be for flushes to either the downside, or maybe there's open interest like really skyrocketing for shorts. Then we have like reversal pumps. They take all the short liquidity, and then boom, that's how the market makers manipulate people and really drain liquidity out of the market. Now, if we go to the open interest here, we're using Coinalyze. You can see that the open interest actually has been decreasing for, well, the past few months, right? We peaked out at like 32 billion at the beginning of the year. Every single time we have these dumps, open interest decreases. We then have pumps, guys, right? The price goes up, and then everybody at the top here wants to enter into new positions. Okay, worst time to be entering positions at peaks. And then we have eventual sell-offs. Open interest starts to decrease. We've had a massive capitulation, and open interest is now at a low. But what you're going to see, guys, is what yesterday when we had the Trump pump, open interest skyrocketed. Everybody wanted to be leverage traders and get back into the market. Boom, what happened? They got wrecked. So it's showing me that the market is still greedy. Even though it's in extreme fear, the market is still greedy. Now, I do like occasional swing leverage trades now with Bitcoin and with ETH. I used to do it with a lot of my altcoins, but I don't even play that game anymore, guys. If you're doing leverage trades with your altcoins, risky business. Unless you're like in the peak of a bull run and a lot of coins are showing signs that they're going to break out, then you can get quick leverage positions out of here. But we've seen over the past few days what can happen. Okay, they can take your money on leverage so easy. That is why it is a lot easier to hold spot. But when you see this open interest spike, it's showing that the market is still greedy. Even on this tiny little move here, we are increasing on the open interest. So keep an eye on all of that, guys. I'll leave a link for the Bitcoin open interest link in the pinned comment or in the description. But I'm going to be coming back to these same charts time after time after time. Okay, you guys are going to get bored of it. But I promise you, when we do break out of this range, everybody's going to go, oh, it was so obvious. Okay, max fear time at the bottoms. We've been having massive wicks, guys. This is a daily chart, right? This is the daily chart, okay? A lot of work to do. When we move it to the weekly candle, you can see here we actually failed the breakout. Okay, we could continue to the downside. Again, we need to be holding 685 billion for the total 3. So pretty much all of our altcoins, right, need to be holding in this channel. I don't care if we go to the bottom area of the channel. I don't care if we wick off 685 billion. But the main thing that is going to keep me bullish in this market is to say, right, we're still respecting this channel and we're not having any structural invalidations in this chart. Number 2, Bitcoin. As already know, we picked up some longs in the long zone. I showed you guys this yesterday. And I mean, you can even go back to look at our last consolidation period, right? These consolidations don't just last for a few weeks and then we break out. The bigger the consolidation, the better it's going to be, right? So even if we come up here, we reject, come back down. Benjamin Cowan actually made a good video yesterday about how many times it took to break certain levels for Bitcoin and for ETH. It looks like it could take many more tries to be breaking that 100k region and actually holding it for good, okay? It could take a lot more tries. But it doesn't mean that we can't have a break above it, have our bull run, and then enter the bear market. And it takes a few tries again in the next cycle for us to fully never revisit lower than 100k, right? But what people are now calling for is they're calling for the retest of this level here. Are we going to get it? I don't know. I'm picking up a lot of spot Bitcoin at 78 to 80k. You guys are seeing how it's still wanting to respect the channel. Okay, so it will until it doesn't. We've got support underneath us at the retest of the previous high around 70k. Wouldn't really like to go to 62k at the 100 MA. That would be pretty scary for a lot of altcoin investors. One thing that I think is going to be scary is going to be the Ethereum chart. We're having technical breakdowns of this massive structure. So I am in the case right now. I've had to change my perception on ETH and say I'm at least expecting us to revisit the lower area of this channel, which is going to be between 1800, depending when we get it, and 1600. Okay, so if we do go down to 1600, going to be confluent with a lot of other charts, a lot of other top traders reckon it could be breaching down into that 1800. We breached 2k earlier today, guys. Now we're having wicks out of it, guys, but you know, we can't ignore the fact that we've had a massive trend breakdown on the weekly chart. Okay, so again, this is the weekly. What we can do is we can say it's only the first week of March, so ideally, right, ideally what we'd like to happen is we just have a continued breakdown for the rest of March. We dump, maybe the digital assets conference just shits the bed for the market. Everyone thinks it's meant to be bullish, they long it, it doesn't make sense, and then, you know, we dump down. I can see that happening, right? Just think contrarily, as I say to you guys every day. We wick off this, go back above this channel, and then continue our bull run. But again, that's just speculation, guys. So you can let me know what you're thinking is going to happen over the next week. How do you think the digital assets conference is going to go? Let me know in the comments. But that's it. This quick video to say, don't think the bear market's here yet. We've got a lot of work to do for our altcoins. Oh my God, we're going to come back, guys. I promise you. If you made it this far and you want to support my journey, please subscribe to the channel. You guys help me out more than you can imagine. I'm going to see you guys tomorrow. Peace and love.